Like, comment, and subscribe.
Our inheritance is turned to screams, and our houses to aliens. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We are drunk in our water for money, and our wood is sold unto us. Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. We have given our hand to the Masrayan and to the Assyrian to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we are born their iniquity. Listening to the word with Yiqwaba.
Mixing it up live.
All right, family. Glad to see you today. Shalom, Sister Naomi. How you doing? Shalom, wa barakathan, mashpaka. Peace and blessings, family. All right. So I got this thing running again. Hopefully it sound all right on y'all end. I'm happy to get back on here. And I put Bible readers for y'all, and I want to let the book read for you. And I have some articles, some things to show you, some things that I've been wanting to research, but I didn't have my device. So now that I got my computer set up, I'll go ahead and read some things for you, fam. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I hope you enjoy what I got set up.
Psalm 136. O give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. O give thanks unto the God of gods, for his mercy endureth forever. O give thanks to the Lord of lords, for his mercy endureth forever. To him who alone doeth great wonders, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that by wisdom made the heavens, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that stretched out the earth above the waters, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that made great lights, for his mercy endureth forever. The sun to rule by day, for his mercy endureth forever. The moon and stars to rule by night, for his mercy endureth forever. To him that smote Egypt in their firstborn, for his mercy endureth forever, and brought out Israel from among them. For his mercy endureth forever, with a strong hand, and with a stretched out arm. For his mercy endureth forever. To him which divided the Red Sea into parts, for his mercy endureth forever, and made Israel to pass through the midst of it. For his mercy endureth forever, but overthrew Pharaoh and his host in the Red Sea. For his mercy endureth forever. To him which led his people through the wilderness, for his mercy endureth forever. To him which smote great kings, for his mercy endureth forever. And slew famous kings, for his mercy endureth forever. Sihon, king of the Amorites, for his mercy endureth forever. And Og, the king of Bashan, for his mercy endureth forever, and gave their land for an heritage, for his mercy endureth forever, even an heritage unto Israel his servant, for his mercy endureth forever, who remembered us in our low estate. For his mercy endureth for ever, and hath redeemed us from our enemies. For his mercy endureth for ever, who giveth food to all flesh. For his mercy endureth for ever. O give thanks unto the God of heaven, for his mercy endureth for ever.
Amen. Amen. For his mercy endures forever. Amen. So I had the Bible read for y'all today, and what I'm gonna do is I have some scrolls. I have some letters that I want to read, because remember we've been doing reading on the language, and I wanted to make sure that I continue that. So I'm gonna close this down, fam, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start better reading. It's simple as that. Alright, we can learn some new words. Alright, so here we go. So this is some kind of dictionary, and I want to show y'all something so people can understand that I'm not making up what I've been saying. So you see what they say: Ancient Hebrew Dictionary Index by Modern Hebrew Word, 1,000 most common Hebrew words in the Hebrew Bible by Jeff A. Boehner. And then you see they put the Assyrian letters. So I'm gonna show you right here. You see, you know how we read in our Bible and we say Father and we say Abba? Is they put Av. Listen.
Of.
Make sure y'all can hear that. Let me make sure. Did you hear that? Let me turn it up. Okay, here we go.
Of.
You see how they say Abad? Look at what they say. Now this is an Alap, Ba, and a Da, which is a Dalat. Now watch what they do with it.
Avad.
Avad. You see? So they do it different. I'm gonna do one more. Right here, this is Abaha. Now look at what they do. They say Abba. So this is Abba. They put Abba. So let's listen to this.
Ava.
To give, approve, to be in concord in opinion, sentiment, agreement as to action or opinion, to be willing to go somewhere or do something. So let's go back up here. A man who has begotten a child, the provider and support to the household, the ancestor of a family line, the patron of a profession or art. Abba, Mr. Daddy, Father.
Of.
I'm gonna do this one again. To be deserted or abandoned, separated from the whole life or functionality. Strong's number 6. Now listen to this again, then I'm gonna get into the other one.
Avad.
So y'all see how that work? I'm finna show y'all something. Right? So let me turn my book over. Close that one out. So I had to show you that the evidence is there. All we got to do is look it up and read it. So here we go. Now this is the dictionary we've been looking into. I don't know what the song is playing. Let me pause this and make sure. Let me see. Okay, I don't want that to play the whole time. I remember last time I came on here, this song was playing the whole time, and I got tired of hearing it. Let me see if I could change that. Okay. See if I could change that, because I don't want to keep hearing the same song over and over. Going to my dictionary and see what else I got. Hey y'all, and I've been working on another song. Not quite where I want to be with it, but I've been working on another song. So that'll be ready for y'all. And y'all could be able to have something nice to listen to. I'm finna go ahead and turn this on. All right, let me check this and make sure this ain't. Test 1. All right, we in now. So let me go ahead and start reading some of these words right here. We got, y'all, I had to get reset up. I ain't been doing this in a while, so I'm a little rusty. I'll get back to it. All right, so right here, remember the word that we read is, they said Abba, right here, Abba, an empty container to be filled. So Abba, with the ha on the end, an empty container to be filled. And then y'all remember when Messiah was talking about how they was saying, he said, don't call your brother Raka. It's this word, right? Abba, right here. An empty container to be filled. Bawa, empty, an empty space needed to be filled. And you see I put a line right there. Continuation. Like a and. Bawa, hawa. Bawa, hawa. See? Ba, wa, hawa. Ba, ha, bahawa. Empty. KJV, void, empty. And how they said the word is rawaka, and that was a slanderous thing to say to your brother and sister. And when you're calling your brother and sister a byword, you're really saying to them raka. You're saying rawaka. What you're calling is an empty one. You're calling their ethnicity, emptiness, and of worth, no value, like an empty vessel. So anybody that call your lineage or bloodline rawaka, they're in danger of the council. And whose council are they in danger of? Because the council of the world has no problem with calling people rawaka. They have no problem with labeling their inheritance as rawaka. So these are the words that we have recently looked over on the other broadcasts. This is a word here. Something going on down. We can start some on some new words right here. So let me start on this side right here. So this word right here is baha. Baha, it means slaughter, knife, the killing of an animal for slaughter by insert, the point of the knife into the throat to sever the artery. That's baja, baja, okay, baja. Right here is abaja, abaja. See the letters? A, ba, ha. Abaja. Slaughter, knife. Abaja. That's the ha on the end makes it feminine feminine plural. Abaka. Abaha. Point, the point of a sword or knife. Point. Examine, watchtower. Examine a watchtower. So we had a tower where the watchman would stand up and watch at the gate. And it's not the one that they got now today, but it was a real watchtower that we had in our land. And the watchers would stand at the gate. And our watchers, they watch for other people a lot of times when they're standing at the gate. But right here, so let's go. So y'all can look at this. You could pause this when this live is over. And make sure you screenshot these words right here. And this is in the Phoenician Hebrew Dictionary. Let me make sure. I'm going to get y'all up there so y'all can see. Start at page 65. And let me take y'all up to the beginning. This is the ancient Hebrew lexicon of the Bible. Hebrew letters, words, and root defined within their ancient cultural context by Jeff A. Benner. So you see, he showed you how they say va, and now he's showing you how they say ba. So Hebrew letters, words, and roots defined within their ancient cultural context. I want to show y'all something else. Let me pull this up real quick. I want to show y'all something else. Phoenician language. Let me show y'all. All right. Phoenician language. Phoenician is an extinct Canaanite Semitic language originally spoken in the region surrounding the cities of Tyre and Sidon. Extensive Tyro-Sidonian trade and commercial dominance led to Phoenician becoming a lingua franca of the maritime Mediterranean during the Iron Age. The Iron Age is when Rome was in the land. Remember, Rome is the iron. Rome is iron. So maritime Mediterranean during the Iron Age. The Phoenician alphabet spread to Greece during this period. So the ancient Hebrew, which is called Canaanite, they call it Canaanite, spread to Greece during that time. So listen, the Iron Age, the Romans, Chitim, they have the same father as the other people who call themselves Greeks. Those are a paternity of sons that come together, and that's what build up, and they call it, the Hebrews call them the Goyim, the Goy, the locusts, or Gentiles. But you see here, Greece. So the Phoenician alphabet spread to Greece, not from Greece. but it spread to Greece during this period. You remember when we always study and they talking about we taught them how to bathe and set up stuff over there for them. Shalom, Sister Selena. You remember how they taught us how our ancestors went up to Europe and taught them how to bathe and how to speak and how to write? Well, here it go right here. This is the history. So when the iron government was in our home country in Northeast Africa, what they call it now, in the land they call Canaan, that they used to call us, this is what Phoenician mean. Our ancestors taught them. As a matter of fact, the historians say that our ancestors created them an alphabet, the Greek alphabet. And when you look at the Greek letters, you will see a lot of similarities between our letters that they call an extinct language. Only after the Iron Government, they say that this language is extinct. After the Iron Government, you come up to 1490, where the Judeans were being captured and enslaved. Shalom, Sister Nam and Selena. So it say right here, during this period, so what they say, during this period, when the Romans was down there, this period where it became the source of all modern European script. So listen at this. So the source of our language became the source of all modern European scripts. So when they say y'all need to forget about y'all ancient scripts and get with the program and get with these new scripts, that's the problem with a lot of people. Let me see what you say. Hey, bro, I need you on my live screen next week. I want to talk about. Oh, okay, that's cool. I'm willing to do it. So this showing you right now, right here, that the people that they call Canaanites, cursed under the Hamite curse, taught them everything that they know, cleaned up Europe, set up they plumbing and everything over there in Europe. You remember the movie that Martin did, The Black Knight, when Martin said, no more. That was our ancestors out there. So just like Martin, which is one of the descendants of these people, the ancient people, travel back in time. So look at this. During this period where it became the source of all modern European scripts. So our scripts became the source of all modern European scripts. So France and all them, France is a part of the Grecian Empire. Rome, that means Spain and Portugal was a part of the Grecian Empire, but Spain and Portugal split after the siege of Jerusalem after 70 AD. Spain and Portugal split after the temple was destroyed the last time. So this is after 70 AD. Spain and Portugal had split. Our people wasn't in the land no more. We had done fled out and we was refugees in Spain and Portugal and in West Africa, where we built those colleges and stuff. All right. During this period where it became the source of all modern European scripts. So our scripts became the source of all modern European scripts. That's what I want to show y'all. So right here, Canaan, North Africa, Cyprus, Iberia, y'all know what Iberia is? Cilicia, Malta, and Sardinia, attested in Canaan proper from the 12th century BC to the 2nd century AD. So BC means before Messiah, AD means after Messiah. Before he came and died, after he came and died. Afro. Who's the Afro people? Afro-Asiatic. Afro-Spanish. Afro-Americans. Afro-Italians. Afro-Asiatic. Afro-Kin, Asiatic. Semitic. West Semitic. There's some of us in the West. Central Semitic. Northwest Semitic. Canaanite. Phoenician. The land is also, the land of Israel is also called Canaan. And Libya. All right. Language codes. Our people used to be called Libyans. We used to be called Ethiopians. Phoenician Punic. The area in which Phoenician was spoke includes the North Levant, and at least as prestige language Anatolia, specifically the area now including Syria, Lebanon, parts of Cyprus, and some adjacent areas of Turkey. It was also spoken in the area of Phoenician colonization along the coast of northwest Mediterranean Sea, including those of modern Tunisia, Morocco, Libya, that's in Africa. That's in the land of the blacks. Morocco. I got a book about this. Morocco, Libya, and Algeria. Where's Algeria family at? Where Algeria at? As well as Malta and the west of Cilicia, Sardinia, Corsica. Okay, so if there's some of our people in Algeria, some of our people in Morocco, Tunisia, Mediterranean Sea, Spain, right here, and southernmost Spain. In modern times, the language was first decoded by John Jacques Bartholomew in 1758, who noted that the name Phoenician was first given to the language by Samuel Bacard in his geographical Sacred Pillage of at Canaan. So 1758. Remember this. 1758. Let me color that. 1758. Remember that. 1758. And I got a book I want to pull up for you. Okay? So here go another book. All right. So let me go back into my books. Now this is a book that our sister had sent. Sister Chicky History Channel sent me this book right here. All right. So let me pull on down. This is the book I've been telling y'all about. Some of the pages is kind of old. Let's see if it loaded correct. Let's go to page 36. 36. I put 56 for what? Put 30. Make sure I got it right. No, that's the wrong one. The wrong copy. Let me exit this one. All right. All right. Where we at? There go the scriptures right there. Might as well pull that up for now. So y'all can have something to look at while I get this book set up. Right, there it is. That's the book right there. Boom. For the book. And I praise Yahweh. I thank Yahweh for Chicky History Channel, because if it weren't for Chicky History Channel, I wouldn't be aware of this book right here. All right. Now I want y'all to see when this book was written and when they said that they found out about the Hebrew language. Now look at this. This is 1844. Okay. And this book right. And they said that this person, Joanne Jacques Bartholomew, in 1758. Y'all see this? 1758. Light and true. 1844. Okay. So it wasn't that far off. So you have 50 more years. This book right here was written. But there's other copies of this same book. You know, this book was written by our ancestors. There's other copies of this book from a later time. I believe they said it's one from the there's a book they have about people speaking about ethnicity in the early 1500s. That's the one I showed y'all. A European person was speaking about that when it was capturing our people. Okay. They knew of the Moroccan Hebrews. They was calling themselves that before the Europeans came down now. So this is 1844. Slavery was going on. 1758. Slavery was still going on. It was going on strong then, and it was going on strong right at this time. Published by a committee of colored gentlemen, Benjamin F. Roberts, printer. Okay. So let me click inside of this guy name here. Look at this. So is there a possibility that he may have biases by calling the Judeans Canaanites? Look at him. Don't you think that he will have a bias and call the Judeans Canaanite? Look at him. Bartholomew was born at Cassis, is a commune situated east of Marseille in the department of, West Coast land is known in English as the French Riviera in southern France. So he's a Frenchman. He's a descent. He's one of the colonizing class. You remember France colonized West Africa. They also had a colony set up in America. They also was a part of colonizing Haiti. So they were strong colonizers. All right. So understand this. A colonizer is not the indigenous folk. He took up philosophy and theology at the Jesuits College and finally attended the seminary of the Lazarist while studying for the priesthood. He was a Catholic. Okay. Y'all remember what the Catholics did to our ancestors, which he intended to join. He devoted much attention to Oriental languages. So this language was not his language. He's a European. He devoted much attention to Oriental languages and was introduced by a friend to study of classical antiquities and particularly to the field of numismatics career. In 1744, he went to Paris with a letter of introduction to Claude Gros Booth's perpetual secretary of the, this is him. This is his photo. They made of him. Back then, that was the style for them. That was the style for him back then. A keeper of the Royal Collection of Medals, he became assistant to De Bose in 1753, succeeding him in this post, remaining in this position until the Revolution. During his term of office, he nearly doubled the size of the collection. In 1755, he accompanied the French ambassador. So we see who this guy is. He, part of the setup. Okay. And so he's studying other people's languages. So that's what he was doing. He was not studying his language or European languages. He was studying the language of the people that when he saw them, he called them Canaanites. Now, a lot of Christians will say this, that Canaanites is Hamites, and they say that's what we is, and try to dismiss what we saying. Well, the first European colonizers, when they came down here, descendants of Javan, they said that these people spoke this language right here, and they called these people Canaanites. They called them Ethiopians. They called them Moors. They called them Morishites. They called them Moristhites. They called them Negro Seminoles. They called them Afro-Cans. They called them Afro-Americans. They called them Afro-Spanish. They called them Afro-Cubans. They called them Afro-Europeans. They called them Afro-Cans. They did not call them Europeans. They called them Afro-Cans because the ones they was enslaving was not the inheritors of Europa. So if the ones at the bottom of the map that they put, they say is not the inheritors of Africa, then are we the inheritors of Europe? Because if we're the inheritors of Europe, then we need to go up there and claim and do all that what they doing, right? But since we were already where we was and they came down to us, then we don't need to go up yonder. All we need to do is go back, cross the Jordan River. Because according to the prophets, according to archaeology, according to theology, according to history, according to biblical history, and even secular history, according to even blood DNA samples, the people who were put on slave ships are the true people who came from Northeast Africa that called themselves Yasharal. They called themselves Yahabada. They called themselves Moroccans. Not the newcomers, but the ones that was, like granddaddy and granddaddy, the old timers. The one that were there before you got here. The one that said skillet before the one that said frying pan. The one that said skillet was the one you got to listen to. The one that said frying pan is the one you ain't got to really listen to unless the one that said skillet told the one that said frying pan to do what I said do. Or you going to be in cross yonder and I'm going to flog you. And she didn't say flog you, but I can't say what grandma and them used to say back in the day online. Not on my page, but some people do. So we are the original people. So now let me go back over. Let's go to Josephus right here. Flavius Josephus. This is where we stopped off last time. Remember, I put the thought, and that means sign. X marked the spot. So let's see. And Amanim and Labim, who alone inhabited in Libya. So these is dark-skinned African people here. Anamim and Lebim, who alone inhabited in Libya. So y'all remember that they said that these people inhabited Libya. So let's go back. Josephus said they inhabit Libya. The area in Phoenicia was spoken includes the North Levant, at least as prestige language, and Anatolia, specifically the areas now Syria, Lebanon, parts of Cyprus, and some adjacent of Turkey. It was also spoken of the Phoenician colonization along the coast of the southern western Mediterranean Sea, including those of modern Tunisia, Morocco, Libya. So there were Hebrews in Libya. Where's Libya at? You see? This is the inheritance of Anamim and Lebim. These are Hamites, Hamito. But Israelites lived there as well. So go here, Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, Malta, Cilicia, Sardinia, Corsican, Balearic Islands in Spain. In modern times, the language was first decoded. So, who noted that the name Phoenician was first given to the language by Samuel Bacard? Who is that? Who is this here? Where is he from? It says Normandy. Born May the 10th, 1599. Now, this is during the time of American colonies. Remember, France, right here. France had a part of the American colonies. And you see right here, Normandy, 10 May 1599. He died in 1667. What was going on in 1599 and 1677? What was going on? What was his occupation? He was a preacher. Let's see what he preached. French Protestant biblical scholar. What did this guy here preach? What books did we have and what books did he have? Okay, Samuel Bacard, 30 May 1599, 16 May 67, was a French Protestant biblical scholar, a student of Thomas Erpenius, and a teacher of Peredu Daniel Hewitt, teacher of this guy right here. Samuel, taught this guy right here with this here wig on his head. He was a Frenchman, this guy right here. So he was a Frenchman. See? Was a French churchman and scholar, editor of Delphin Classics, founder of the Academy. So what they doing is they seen somebody else's culture and they making bank off it. It ain't nothing new, family, nothing new under the sun. We just seen, according to him, that taught him that all European language and literature came from who did it come from? So let's go down here, Central Biblical Exegesis. Barkert, and look at what he put, was one of the several generations of antiquaries. Antiquaries or antiquary is an aficionado or student of antiques or things of the past. More specifically, the term is used for those who study history with particular attention to ancient artifacts, the archaeological and historic sites or historical archives and manuscripts. So that's how we know that they took a collection of our manuscripts, just like they came and took stuff from Kemet, just like they came and took stuff from our brothers and sisters beyond the river of Kush and put it inside of their libraries. This is how we know. Who expanded upon the basis Renaissance humanist. Renaissance humanist is a worldview centered on the nature and importance of humanity that emerged from the study of classical antiquity. So they study our stuff to study humanity. His 2-volume geographical Sacri Su Phaleg et Canaan let's click in here. I want to click on this book and see what picture he put as his book cover for him saying Canaan. I want to see. I need to see. Can y'all see that? They talking about the Tower of Babel on the front of his book here. Phaleg et Canaan. Okay? And he's a Frenchman, not a Northeast African. He's a Frenchman. What was they doing? Canaan, or on the colonies of Phoenicia. Phoenician means Canaanite language. Study the history of Phoenician colonization, the Canaanite colonization, the Canaanite colony. The Canaanite colony. The same thing they called us under the Hamitic curse. Canaan, curse under the Hamitic curse. Study the history of the Phoenician, of the Canaanite colonization. We used to speak what they call Phoenician now today. And the Phoenician and the Canaanite and Punic languages. What did they say? Afro-Asiatic. Afro-Asiatic. So now let's go back to the light and truth. I'm almost done, fam. Almost done. All right. So now, here we go. So you know how they say everybody in the Bible is white, no matter what? Look at this. By whom he had, so this is Esau, is also a dark race of people. Let's see. Yishmael is also a dark race of people. The son of Abraham by Hagar. Hagar was a Kemetic woman. Her daddy was a very dark-skinned Shemitic man, an Afro-Asiatic man. Afro-Asiatic man. Put a pick on his head and say Afro. Yishmael was Afro-Asiatic. The son of Abraham, a Afro-Asiatic man. By Hagar, Abraham spoke Canaanite. Abraham spoke Canaanite, that they say is Hamite. Abraham spoke Canaanite. By Hagar, so Abraham and Hagar, very dark-skinned people. Abraham was Chawam, brown. Hagar was Chawam, brown. They had a Chawam baby, a brown baby. They had a Shachar, Abraham, and Shachar, Hagar had a Shachar baby. Black Abraham and black Hagar had a black baby and named him Yishmael. The wife of Yishmael was a Egyptian woman, not a modern time Egyptian woman, but a Kemetic Egyptian, a Kemetic Masri woman, a Kemetic woman. For his mother took him a wife out of the land of Kemet. for his mother took him a wife out of the land of Kemet. So Yashmael took a wife out of Kemet. So he also married a Hamite woman. A Hamite woman. A Hamite woman. An Afro-Kin woman. The names of the sons of Yashmael have been heretofore given. What was their name? Yashmaelites, the descendants of Yashmael, the company of Yashmaelite, to whom Yawasap was sold, are elsewhere called Midianites. Midianites. Midian, remember looking at movies? Midian was sold elsewhere called Midianites. This was not Europeanites. It was not Europeanite. It was Midianite that was, so the company of Yashmaelite to whom Yawasap was sold are elsewhere called Midianites. Probably they were Yashmael who dwelt in Midian. Remember Zipporah? It is evident, however, but Zipporah, listen, Zipporah was Masha's old lady. Zipporah, Shalom NC Rockstar. Zipporah in the Solomon Project. Zipporah was a Midianite. This is our ancestor writing this. Our ancestors published this book during the time of slavery. It is evident, however, that the two names were sometimes applied to the same people. So Yashmael and Midianites, names was applied a lot of times to the same people. When they called us Midian or Yishmaelites, they called our brothers in Africa Midianites. And Yashmael, they dwelt in Midian. It is evident, however, that the two names were sometimes applied to the same people. Judges 22:24. This is our ancestors' study. This is what they left for us to read. Though we know the descendants of Midian were not Yashmael, see, our ancestors said they know the descendants of Midian was not Ishmaelites. For Midian was a son of Abraham. For Midian was a son of Abraham by Keturah. So Abraham married another Hamite woman named Keturah. Hagar, an Egyptian woman who lived in the family of Abraham as a abid, as a servant, an abid, or bond woman. Sarah, being childless, she was barren, she proposed to Abraham that he should receive Hagar as his Asha, as his wife, to lay down with her. Now, if you go to West Africa and you ask some of Yoruba that practice having multiple wives, who is this doing this? And the fruit of his connection was Yashmael. The fruit of his connection was Yashmael, Hagar as his wife, and the fruit of his connection was Yashmael. Previous to his birth, his mother, his Amma, being ill-treated by Sarah, fled from the house, and while in the wilderness, in the desert, in the Sahara, was informed by a Malachian, by a messenger, what would be the character of her child, and that his posterity would be innumerable. Yashmael here, not Yasharal, but this is Yashmael. The birth of the Yashmael was in A.M. 2094. I guess that's the page. And as Abraham supposed that the promises of Allahayim of Allah respecting his, because Yashmael spoke the same language of his daddy. Yashmael say his name is Allah. Abraham say his name is Allah. Yiqwaba say his name is Allah. Allahayim, respecting his seed were to be fulfilled in Yashmael. He nurtured him with much care. Allahayim, Allah, respected his seed were to be fulfilled in Yashmael. So Abraham supposed that the promises of Allah respecting his seed were to be fulfilled in Yashmael. Why? Because he slept with the baby by his wife saying that it didn't work out well. So y'all had to send Yashmael away with the woman, with the what they call the woman that what they call them women that when you need a baby, they would what they call that? I can't think of the name. Surrogate. That's what you would call a surrogate woman, a surrogate wife that Abraham had, and she wasn't acting right, so they had to let her go somewhere else with the child. So Abraham couldn't even keep the child because Allah had the child sent away. So it say right here, Agar or Hagar. This Agar is Mount Sinai and Arabia. So who speak Arab? Arabia? Who is the ancient Arabians? Shakar Arabians. So the ancient Arabs are Shakar, dark-skinned people. Afro-Kins, Shakar Arabian. In answer to Yerushalayim, which now is and is in bondage with her children, Galatians 25. Hagarites, Chronicles 10 and 20, are the descendants of Hagar, which are Ishmaelites, and are of course the same with the Ishmaelites or Midianites. Pharaoh was a king of Kemet, that's Africa, who gave his wife's sister in marriage to Hadad. His queen was Tapanese, by whom he had Genobath. Hadad, the descendant of a royal family of Edom. These are all dark-skinned people. Chocolate. When Dawud conquered that country, 1 Samuel 14, and the scriptures say that Dawud was a very dark, clear complexioned Hebrew. His son had locks in his head. Rastafari had locks in their head, don't they? And they say, and cut off its male population. So Dawud conquered that country of Edom and cut off its male population. Why? Because they was in a war for something that Esau and them had did. Certain of the king's household escaped the general massacre and fled, taking with them Hadad, then a little child. After a time they went into Kemet, and young Hadad was presented to the king. And then you got some Edomites that got confederate with Rome, And that's why when you come down to the time of Hamashiach under the Roman province, before our language was getting ready to be called extinct, the Edomites and the Europeans were in confederation together. So they used dark skin to control dark skin. Descent was made known. The king received him with great favor. And in process of time, he married the queen's sister, and the families were afterwards on terms of the closest intimacy. After Dawad's death, Hadad requested Pharaoh to let him return to Edom, and this he probably did, as we find him mentioned as Hadad the Edomite and the adversary of Solomon. So he was fighting against Dawad and Solomon. Now, if you want to know what really happened and not go off of what people say, what they feelings, go and read these scriptures right here. How all that stuff went down with Ashal and with Dawad and with Hagar and all these people. All right, in Shalamon. So let's look at this right here. Alexandrians. Now, there's a place in Africa called Alexandria. There's a place in Africa. Oh yes, Africa. A class of Yahudim, Yahweh. This is our ancestor writing the book down. He know Alexandrians, a class of Yahweh, Judeans, natives of Alexandria, a city of Kemet, in where? Africa. Did it say Europe? Africa. Did it say imagination land of fairy tales where all your dreams come true and the rainbow sprout out and blame up with beautiful spews of light that gloriously shines to you? No. It said, when our ancestors said, Alexandrians, a class of Yahweh, natives of Alexandria, a city of Kemet in Africa. Now, I saw a sister on Facebook said she from Alexandria. She said she don't know what tribe she from. Well, if you listening to this, sister, Alexandrians, a class of Judeans, Yahudim, natives of Alexandria, a city of Kemet in Africa, in Afro-Asiatic, Afro-Asiatic Africa, and speaking that language, they were very numerous at Yerushalayim, Acts chapter 9. So, sister, if you're watching this, if any one of our brothers and sisters from Alexandria, I say Africans. If you are Alexandrian, read Acts chapter 9. Bernice, Acts 13 and 23. Or Bernice, as the name is sometimes spelled, was the daughter of Agrippa, surnamed the Great, and sister to the younger Agrippa, king of the Judeans. She was first betrothed to Mark, son of Alexander, governor of the Judeans at Alexandria. She was, however, married her own uncle Herod. So these is Edomites here. Herod is an Edomite. So they practicing a religion, Judaism. Son Alexander, younger son Agrippa. These is an Edomite bloodline, and they claim that they are Judeans. She was first betrothed to Mark, son of Alexander, governor of the Judeans at Alexandria. She was the governor of the Judeans of Alexandria. She was, however, married to her own uncle, Herod. So if Herod was her uncle, and you read in Matthews, who was the Herod? Herod is the bloodline of the Edomite dukes. So her uncle is a Herod, king of Chalice. After his death, she married Polemon, king of Pontus, but abandoned him, and returning to Agrippa, her brother lived with him in incest. The Edomites, they sat with pomp to hear Sha'awal preach. So they listened to Paul preach. So if you want to know what happened between that, you can read in the book of Acts. And I don't know how to say that number. If one of y'all know how to do that number right there, that's what book of Acts that you need to look at if you want to see what happened with this person right here. That they sat down and listened to the apostle Sha'awal preach. They was living during the time of Sha'awal. Yabasap, Barashayat 24, this is the last one, son of Yiqwaba, and Rachayal was born in Mesopotamia. A.M.2256, I guess that's the page, and married the daughter, Jacob married the daughter of one of the priests of the princesses of Kemet. So who was inside of Kemet? Afro-Cans? Who was inside of Kemet? Afro-American? Who was inside of Kemet? Afro people on the four corners, and had 2 children. Manasseh? These is, what would you call them if you went to ancient Egypt and you seen all the people that looked at the same dark-skinned African, and you seen a man that had a baby named Manasseh and Apariam, which means Africans. Apariam, Apar, that's how you say African. Matter of fact, let me show you. And I'm almost done. After I show you this, I'm done, fam. Okay. Ezekiel 27, 22 is written in more than one place. The most likely location of Ophir to have been suggested so far is the region of Somalia on the East African coast, possibly extending to the neighboring coast of South Arabia. The product of Ophir are characteristically African and are similar to those of Put, which suggested that Ophir and Put were located in the same region. Ophir in the Oxford Dictionary. Ophir, people, philosophy, biblical, proper names, biblical Ophir. Now, how do you spell Ophir? Awapar. Alpar. Now, if you see a par, and they said that it's synonymous with Africa, and you see a par rayam, yam on the end, make it plural. A par, a, wa, pa, ra, ya, ma, make it plural. Yam, make it plural. Afro-kins. Let's go back over here. Menasha and Apariam. Their mama was a Hamite, Kemet. Had 2 children, Menasha wa Apariam. Menasha wa Apar. It even said here, Afra. Afra. Aparayam. The northern tribe was sometimes called Africans. Aparayam. All right, fam. I'm about to get up off here. I hope y'all got something out of this. I hope that y'all got something out of this. I want to thank y'all for coming. Thank you for coming, fam. And I want to say to you all, Shalom. Enjoy the outro. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Shalom, fam.